And I said, you can tell me the truth, or I'm gonna go meet with the cold case team next Thursday and have this reopened.
Ever wonder what someone's really hiding behind their smile? April Holt was a positivity coach, a TikTok star known for her uplifting messages. But in July 2023, her life took a dark, unexpected turn when she was found unresponsive at home. Authorities called it self-inflicted, but her mother believes that's far from the truth. This is the story of a mother's relentless fight to expose the secrets behind April's tragic end. April Holt seemed to have it all together. She shared her life online, spreading messages of positivity, resilience, and success to thousands of followers. She was a mother, an entrepreneur, a social media personality whose energy lifted others. But as it turns out, what people saw on screen was just a fraction of her reality. Her untimely death raised more questions than answers, and her mother couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. Today, we're diving into the unsettling details surrounding April Holt's mysterious passing and the fight to uncover what really happened. April was no stranger to hardship. Her followers knew her as someone who'd been through tough times and still managed to turn her life around, setting an example of resilience and perseverance. She built a community around positivity and healing, often talking about her family and her commitment to being a mother. But on the night of July 28, 2023, April's family received news that shattered everything. April was found unresponsive in her home. Investigators concluded that her death was self-inflicted, but her mother, Jamie, was convinced that the official story wasn't adding up. April's final days and the evidence left behind painted a chilling picture that didn't match what investigators had initially assumed. Jamie's suspicions ignited a battle that would unravel a web of hidden truths, lies, and the disturbing possibility that someone close to April had a hand in her death. As we go deeper into this story, pay close attention to the evidence, the timeline, and the shocking discoveries that came to light. The story of April Holt isn't just about a tragic loss. It's about a mother's refusal to accept a version of events that didn't fit her daughter's life or personality. April's life was an open book, at least. That's what she led her followers to believe. She was an inspiring figure who overcame adversity, built a successful brand, and shared her journey with the world. But behind the polished videos and carefully crafted messages, April was dealing with personal issues few people knew about. Her marriage, once a picture-perfect union, had taken a dark turn. April's mother, Jamie, was among the first to suspect something was amiss.
After they closed April's case, DA and everybody agreed to close it. I got up, marched out of that room, and I said, I'm not done. I'm going to keep investigating. And I said, you can tell me the truth, or I'm going to go meet with the cold case team next Thursday and have this reopened.
For months, she had noticed small things, subtle signs that her daughter's seemingly perfect life was unraveling. April's marriage had become strained, marked by frequent arguments and unresolved tension. Her husband, Donovan, had grown increasingly distant, and April's attempts to maintain a happy front only masked the growing cracks in their relationship.
Story time! But I couldn't do it without him because I feel like it's wrong to only put out one side. So, here we go.
Okay, so the story is that we are getting divorced because of our decision. It's my best friend. I still love her to death. Like, we still got a child together. We still gonna be hanging out. I'm probably gonna see her most days of the week, but at the end of the day, we got shit to do. That's it. You feel me? She has a path to go. I got a path to go, but our paths are parallel, and we always gonna be next to each other. Yeah. And who's to say what's gonna happen in the future? All that we know is right now. Right now, it's the best. I mean, real talk, it's the best decision for both of us. For her to do what she needs to do, for me to do what I need to do. So
we can grow and heal and
that's it.
Elevate. No hard feelings. This is not a messy divorce or anything like that. We don't do that. This is, like I said, like he said, this is my best friend at the end of the day. He has been before the relationship, before the marriage, before the kid. So nothing's gonna change that. So
look at her, bro. Like, I would never lose this forever. For real. And
So we're good, y'all. We're
For real
good.
though, like for real.
Promise y'all.
That's it.
When April's body was found, Jamie immediately suspected foul play. The initial autopsy claimed there were no signs of trauma, suggesting a self-inflicted cause. But Jamie couldn't shake the feeling that something didn't add up. And when she saw April's body at the hospital, her suspicions deepened. April had bruises marks that Jamie couldn't ignore. In the following weeks, Jamie pressed the authorities to look closer. Her daughter's story was far from over, and Jamie was about to uncover a trail of evidence that would raise disturbing questions about what had really happened. The real turning point came when Jamie obtained April's autopsy report and noticed details that hadn't been part of the initial investigation. April had bruises on her neck, her thighs, and her ankles marks that weren't consistent with a self-inflicted death. And then there was the piece of evidence that changed everything: a single set of fingerprints. On the bag that had been taped around April's head, only one set of fingerprints was found. They didn't belong to April. They were Donovan's. This was the moment Jamie knew she had to take matters into her own hands. In September, after gathering enough information, Jamie confronted Donovan directly. With her suspicions now based on evidence, she demanded the truth. And in a shocking moment, Donovan confessed. He admitted to killing April in the heat of an argument, a confession that Jamie recorded and took straight to the police. This confession shattered the initial assumptions about April's death and forced authorities to reclassify her death as a homicide. On September 20th, 2024, Donovan was arrested in San Antonio, Texas. He was charged with reckless homicide, tampering with evidence, and filing false reports. But for Jamie, even this wasn't enough. She wanted the charges raised to first-degree murder. In her mind, the evidence pointed to premeditation, and she wasn't willing to let Donovan's actions be minimized.
Brought a bag and tape into a bathroom. He had intentions of killing her. He had made reference to April that if she ever tried to leave him, he was going to be like the guy Joe off of the show You. He's never physically done anything to her that I know of, that she's told me. So I wasn't thinking that he would go to this extreme. He had an obsession with April. So the weird part is like when you see these movies and they love somebody so much that they're willing to do literally anything. I think that was him, because she'd left him before and he would sleep outside of her apartment. He would sleep in her car if it was unlocked, and she'd be like, "Mom, he's in my car," or he's outside. And then eventually, after, so many days, she'd let him back in because she felt bad. Like I said, she had a huge heart. Denzel said every night she would say, "You need to get out of my house." And every single night he would lay in his bed. He has pictures in his grief book of drawing him in his bed and his parents in the living room just yelling at each other. And it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking. And so I'm just, I'm not shocked. I think that once she said that this time she was very serious, she said, "I'm getting a divorce." And 2 weeks later, she was dead. And the other things that kind of led me to believe that I knew that, I just knew it wasn't suicide, was that it was like she just had plans for a future. People don't usually say, "Oh, I'm going to meet you at church the next morning." So I was putting all these pieces together, and I'm like, it's just none of it made sense.
April Holt's life, once a beacon of positivity and resilience, had ended in tragedy. But her story didn't end with her death. Her mother's determination to seek justice brought the truth to light, exposing the darker side of a seemingly picture-perfect family. What started as a case closed too quickly was transformed into a fight for accountability, a battle to reveal the truth hidden beneath the surface. As Jamie fights to have Donovan's charges increased, she's also ensuring that April's legacy isn't overshadowed by the manner of her death. April's children are now in Jamie's care, and she's using her voice to call for justice, not just for her daughter, but for all victims, whose stories are too often brushed aside. April Holt's story serves as a reminder that what we see on social media is only part of the picture, and sometimes there's a darkness hidden behind the light. Watch our next video for more stories like April's, that reveal the hidden truths behind the headlines.